on the other side.
Wait, what if there is a ship? No, never mind.
No, still Leomord, still Leomord, okay.
JP.
Yeah, what does Daddy play?
There's a Hylos, Hilda.
Yeah, you still have a lot of your old favorites. Yeah, they're high loss.
I was missed.
Still safe. Okay. Okay, Nets.
What's their gold? I mean, this is why I wish they picked up the carry at Red 3 instead, because the carry would have been perfect for them.
But they banned the cat. Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah, it got banned out, so now... Oh, let's go. Okay.
Oh, here we go again.
See if it works out this time.
You know what? At least Hanabi sees play without...
And then AGs. But then after that, there's still a lot of continuous damage that could just be dealt on you. They don't have like traditional bursts when you think about it for Liquid, unless it gets to the super late game and then the Eve starts blasting them. But a lot of questions about this Hanabi.
Here we go, game number 1. Can Omega turn the tides? Early start. Omega, look at this. Oh, Sanji!
Oh, isn't this the best start if you get to force out something, but Sanji doesn't use the flicker?
The chef ain't having any of it. Oh, at least they forced the revitalize out of JP.
Yeah, that's a little something. So, whoa, okay, he wants the AGs fast, so it's actually pull yourself together on a fighter emblem focused Hanabi.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense. Just quick access to the AGs, which he already used, so that he actually used it to be aggressive in the duel in the lane against Teddy.
So you can use it that way in the laning phase, but I wonder when it comes to the team fight, because you have to be very cautious about your position. You just can't keep going in. There's a Phobius and a Leomord. But okay, at least so far, Netsuki's handling the laning phase.
Yeah, I think it's because Teddy, again, didn't also expect that Netsuki would just pop the Aegis real quick so that he could play aggressive early on. A great little decision there by Netsuki. And he's going to be continuing the trade. Teddy's around 50% and Netsuki's healthy. He's handling this laning phase incredibly well.
Not a clear win, but on his way to a technical knockout. If he can send Teddy home, take that laning off of timing, then should be good. Omega are taking care of the early game very well.
Yeah, and look, it's actually a Warrior Boots rush for Netsuki. He's just going to keep this up. This is like every Hanabi have faced off in RJ, and I don't mean that as a slight. I mean that as a compliment.
No, because they did say they're ready for Liquid. Perk Ziva did say that he knew how Liquid played the early game.
And it shows. If this is all off of Perk Ziva's calls and the rest of Omega playing around it, it makes sense. Turtle already up.
Yep.
First of the scene is Smart Omega, pulling it slightly over to their side.
Penguin has the Evolt.
Okay, Perk Ziva poking down Sanji, zoning him out really well. Sanji's already half HP once again, but it seems like JP and Sanford are trying to work on Ryzen. That's a Phantom Seed already secured! Dave using Thunder Form! Penguin actually picks up first blood up against him, and it's a double for Omega's captain!
TZ ends up getting the turtle though in the end, and Perk Ziva gets away. So it's actually good news for Omega that Ryzen didn't go down there. It would have been a big win trade for TLPH. They would have gotten the turtle and the kill onto Ryzen, but since he got scot-free with barely any health left, it ended up actually being okay for Omega.
Which I think is a good deal. We mentioned how, yeah, Netsuki's on Hanabi, there's so much dive from Liquid, but look at the rest of Omega's lineup. They all revel in the fact that, oh yeah, we're gonna dive. Let's fight in the pit, in the paint. Like, this is what they want. It's a mud wrestling match.
Yeah, the idea was clear for both JP and Sanford during that moment, but it was just the two of them going up against these tanky heroes who were prepared to fight back when you try to go and dive them, as mentioned here by Leo. So a clear win for Omega so far. Wait, I mean the dive.
Yeah,
he did. He's acknowledging your acknowledgement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's when you say you're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're saying?
Yeah. I was saying that I already said what I said. What? Why are you asking me again?
No, it's just that Omega's doing the same thing. They're going around in circles, playing that same will they, won't they?
Yeah.
And really, the only real payoff was a turtle fight. That was the only real trade in this, what, 4-minute game.
Yeah, good use of Barbiel actually by Carl so that he could get the last hit of that gold crab.
Oh no.
Was getting contested, but yeah, Perk Ziva's rotations are man-marking Liquid really well. Again, acknowledged with the interview.
Oh my goodness, Sanji couldn't do... That was... Okay, and now I'm starting to believe that Perk Ziva has them all read out.
The diver gets dived.
Yeah. I mean, I asked for someone to step up, and it's not just the entire team is stepping up, but also Perk Ziva again. He did say he has that bit of stock knowledge still there about how Liquid like to play the early game, and it shows.
This is what you want, Red Bar?
And it's always Sanji.
We're gonna be stars.
I like that.
Okay, Turtle up already. Liquid, weirdly enough, despite being down 2,000 gold, first of the scene. JP with the pull.
Okay. JP all alone here as Ryzen and Mingwin might try to burst this down. Sanji will be arriving and Carl TZ too with the Phantom Steed. Here's the original real world manipulation. Ryzen being zoned down, but they're trying to focus on Hero and Carl wins the retry battle. There goes the Thunder form, but the damage is not going to be enough. Now Sanford going for the chase. It's Perxiva he's trying to go for. Raging Sandstorm out, and Liquid will just secure the turtle.
Ryzen wasn't even able to get the retry off. Might have died just a little bit right before the turtle came up. But that was just all gold things, and Team Liquid Philippines handling that well. Sanford, even though he got blasted by James early on, James was forced to use his ultimate and the Thunder form in the EXP lane, which meant that they lost a lot of the damage that they could have dished during the turtle itself, because James was too preoccupied with Sanford in lane.
That is one of the most difficult parts of playing a Fredrin jungle, is sometimes there are some positions you can't get into.
Yeah.
That's just mainly the weakness of a Fred into an Eve. And again, you can't beat the original. Sanji beat Penguin to the punch. The box came up first, so Omega, get a reality check here. Cut down that lead to 1,000.
Okay. Both XP laners dueling again. Down the bottom lane. Could have been close for James.
Yeah, really good handling of the trade here. By the way, at one point, former teammates as well, James and Sanford.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same lineup, but both Liquid boys, or Echo.
Oh. Guess he sensed that there could have been a rotation down bottom. Oh, there you go. That's the rotation we're talking about. But this time it's on to James. Carl TZ helping Sanford as he uses the Thunder Form clutch to escape.
Damn good escape there, James. Okay.
Woo.
Great rotation by Liquid, answered really well by James. I thought he was out for.
Shifting skies at the nick of time saves him. Wow.
I thought he... Well, yeah, the cooldown's relatively low too.
Yeah, because you remember he used it to push
Sanford,
40 back in, but yeah. Last turtle coming up, upper quarter. Okay, so for the first time, the gold laners are forced to join the fight.
Yeah.
How has the early game translated for Netsuki? He's been bullying Teddy this whole time.
Yeah, we're gonna see it here in terms of the goal. They it's a slight lead here for the Hanabi, up to the corrosion scythe already.
Okay.
Yeah, Perxiva, Mingwin, and James actually holding really good areas.
Yeah, Sanji couldn't even cross just yet, but already Sanford's trying to start up a fight. Carl TZ already using his Phantom Steed and the Glorious Pathway as well. There's the Raging Sandstorm, but it's not going to make it in time. Carl TZ still secures the Retribution, and Liquid are now chasing after Omega. That's the real world original.
The OG.
The original. The OG.
The OG. Mingwin didn't even get to cast it.
He didn't even get to
No
cast
dash.
it. Oh, Abrasion's Wrath from Ryzen!
That's
Keeping him alive! He's still alive!
Perxiva goes in.
Okay, Sanford once again, Infernal Pursuits. Carl TZ doesn't have the Phantom Steed anymore, but Teddy Cutie all this time, he's just been taking turrets!
Yeah, focused on the job, has a kill under his belt already. He knew that he didn't need to join in that little trade, so they are able to break down the tower in mid. You hear the Omega crowd trying to cheer their team back to fighting form, as Liquid are on the verge of another big win on the way to a stampede if they can find that, but it's still a close game and Omega can clap back.
Could this have been a 7-minute speed bump to start the stampede, because that seems to be all it took. Omega are not dealing enough damage. It's all in on Netsuki, and we just saw right there. He could have gotten 3 hits off of 3 dudes. It just wasn't enough. Are we waiting for that third item?
Yeah.
Will that change it?
So far too, Ryzen has lost all the retry battles against Carl. Again, Liquid understand what you need to do up against a Fredrin and objectives. Just get someone on him so that he can't dash in. And then if ever you dash, him trying to dash out actually just bumps into you. That's why sometimes when you see Team Liquid Philippines collapse on the Fredrin, they're sharing the same pixel as him, so that the dash can't be used to get away safely.
They're not just on him, they're in him.
They're in him.
That's how bad it is for the Fredrin. Because no, as funny as it sounds, the proposition between in and on, he can't hit you with the Appraiser's Wrath, especially when you're on top of him or behind him.
Yeah, you definitely need a bit more help, but again, the question is, where will the damage indeed come from? It's a duel between Carl and James, but Carl! He's gonna win this duel!
Good things, man, good things.
Even under tier 1, James had nothing on Carl. What was James building? He had All right, he barely had any defensive items.
Oh no.
Carl!
Oh, Mingwin claps back, finding Carl.
How is he there?
That's what I'm looking for. That's a constant fight. And look, Sanford now going forward.
Okay, quick sand guard cancelled out there by the Dark Wave. Flicker forced out too, but I'm still on that kill by Mingwin. He was in that bush all by himself, and
Carl was at like half health.
Yeah. He knew that good read by Omega and specifically Mingwin to get there, knowing that maybe that's where Carl wanted to go, and
It's
he
3-0-1
read it
by
out
the way.
perfectly. Yeah. No deaths yet for the captain of this new form Barangay. Lord up. Ryzen still getting his purple buff. Carl, he's not going to go to the orange. He's either going to go straight to the Lord or go for his purple first. Let's see. Well, Neski's down bot split pushing, splishing. That's a new
I can
word.
use that.
It makes sense though.
It sounds cute.
Yeah.
NGL.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay, so that's a slow push by Netsky down bottom. He will be trying to join the fight.
Oh, but they get to dodge it after all. Xiva already very low. Glorious Pathway already used. There's the Dark Wave. James trying to find the target, but he gets bursted down so quickly. Carl already very low on HP. The flicker not from Xiva, but the retribution still. Carl TZ wins it out. A double for 48. Flicker from Mingwin, but the
Oh my God!
Still not gonna save Sanji from the captain of Smart Omega. And here comes Teddy. He's gonna shut down that Valentina.
Oh, Netsky's running out. MPL on Carl. He's gonna take Netsky.
He's under the turret, but once again, the GOAT! No one's gonna win against the GOAT!
And that's a wipeout. Stampede activated. Omega have done a lot right. But in the end, it's the difference between a good retry and an undefeatable retry.
Carl TZ just never misses. Season 17, we have seen a peak, a new apex of Carl TZ's skill cap. And I thought he's done everything. He literally has done everything. It's just, I didn't know that his retribution could be sharper.
Yeah, Xiva committed the Raging Sandstorm on the Lord to try and push back Carl, but at the same time put it down to the threshold. So once that Raging Sandstorm landed, Ryzen will just retry it. But in the end, Carl still somehow got it. And you see here in a lot of these fights, a problem again for the Hanabi. All of this dive, I was talking about it earlier. Yes, he has the shields. Yes, he has a strong front, but without it, he's at risk.
Oh no!
Okay, 40. Trying to get to Sky Prince. Okay, the Cloud Prince. Okay.
Okay, he's fine.
The Sky Prince is
Someone
somewhere
else.
Somewhere else.
This is why in the original lore, Hayabusa picked Kagura.
Where's Kagura now?
Not
Don't say
exactly.
that.
He
say
has
that.
been picked less compared to Hanabi, so that's fine.
Say that about Hanabi.
But you see
It's
why?
a long discussion with Netsky.
I didn't know you were a Hanabu, bro.
Hanabu?
A Hanabi fan.
oh.
The Hanabu.
The Hanabus.
I didn't know they had a name.
There's a lot of them.
I just came up with it. It's official
Like
now.
Splish.
Let's not revisit that.
Short notice. So, at least there is some sign of life from Netsky. You can't count him out. He's on his way to... What is that? Is that a malefic gun or a...
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a gun.
See? So he could deal the damage, but...
But he's so passive. This is not the Netsky.
Well, I mean, he can't be proactive as
It's the
Hanabi.
nature of the hero, I think.
He's like, okay, I get dived on, I bring out my ultimate, pop up my shield, try to go back a little bit, basic attack, and then if I have a Phobius and a Leomord on me, I'm praying.
Are we looking for a big Higanbana?
Well,
Since this is a dive comp you're looking at,
if he can somehow time it with the entry of Carl, JP, Sanford, and Teddy, yeah, that's a massive Higanbana, but that's a be really difficult one.
He threw out a couple, but none of them landed.
a
I think.
two-man Higanbana I think would be a great
Yeah,
deal. That's,
okay.
that's a bargain.
He did get a big two-man Higanbana, but in the end, Carl still ended up winning the retry. It was, I think, Carl and JP or Sanford that was caught in it. But
Yeah.
even with them in it and sharing a lot of the damage of the petal bounce, it barely took them down low.
Okay, so maybe, if Omega can make it far enough and Ryzen is at par with Carl TZ's EXP, then maybe the retry battle becomes fairer. But not right now, I think. The second Lord, no question, goes to Liquid.
It's
Not
a
now.
two-level gap. Ryzen can't win a retry battle right now.
No way.
So quick. Oh no, Xiva!
All right.
Yeah,
He's fine.
had to use the Raging Sandstorm to
Is
get
he
away.
though?
But Daddy JP says we go for the chase! The Infernal Pursuit's actually caught up, but then there is a response from Omega. Not gonna be enough to punish Sanford just yet though, as Carl TZ2 just chasing after Ryzen, surprisingly! And Teddy with the Blazing Duet! So close for Liquid!
Look at Kenneth Barrow. Look at Netsky. He's in the base.
He just split pushing.
Can he do it?
What is he doing here? Okay, he still has the Aegis. JP could not match the
done
stun.
for him.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
and
done.
it's oh, this is sad. We're
He's
just
buying
watching
time.
Netsky go down.
You know what? Unpopular opinion, I think that's worth it. If Omega survive, if Omega don't die to this Lord right now,
Yeah.
I think it's worth it.
But Wingun has to desperately get that real-world manipulation from Sanji, so he has more damage. They're lacking damage without the Hanabi.
Mingwen!
And now they lose that base turret in mid. Phantom Steed already used. Now they're gonna fight again. Not afraid to do it, even under the turret. There goes the real world. Cartesi once again chasing. Two members in the back lines, but it's not gonna be enough. Oh,
Says it's go time. We're
Okay.
still inside the base. Lord still up, and ladies and gentlemen, that's all she wrote. Game 1 goes to Liquid.